Well, I intended to show you a little update on our drainage situation. We got a big rain last night. Yeah, I was going to take a quick look around the shed and check on the cats, and then go out and show you what we've done to help our drainage. But yeah, bad news. Found Martha here, and he's dead. We put our best effort forward to trying to help him get better, but he just couldn't make it. He had several different things wrong with him, as you saw in a previous episode. So I'm going to get on Johnny 2 here and go dig a hole for him. Let's get started. You know, it's kind of sad that Martha died. He was my best buddy. But really, I have to consider, especially today, today's the day after these big tornadoes hit in Kentucky and several other states, but especially in Mayfield, Bowling Green, Dawson City, Kentucky. Wow. Pretty major issues down there. We'll be praying for the families of all those that have had losses there, and really feel bad about that. So in light of that, well, Martha's just not that important. Still, I'm gonna miss him around here. That's right, him. Maybe that's the problem. He had a girl's name this whole time. He was all confused. Oh well. I just want it deep enough that nothing tries to dig him up. Don't want him to get dug up. I may have got in here a little too close to the woods. I got some roots here. It's interesting, it's not that muddy here close to the surface. We got 2 inches of rain last night, but I am on the side of a little bit of a rise here, so it should drain a little easier here, drain a little better here than some other places on our property. That should be good enough. Well, I admit, that wasn't a whole lot of fun. Even though I did get to dig a hole with the tractor, it wasn't a lot of fun. Okay, so let's get on to the drainage project here. If you've been watching our channel for a while, you know that we have been working on this, well, worrying about this drainage project for a couple of years, but we just recently put in this swale. I don't know if maybe you can see it out the, yeah, see the water out the back window of the Gator here. We'll stop and take a look at it here a little better in a minute. But this swale has worked swimmingly well. No, it really has. It's worked very well, perhaps even better than I thought. Stop down here at the kind of the end of it. It's mighty windy out here, a little bit chilly. Of course, it's not below freezing, but the wind kind of makes up for that. You know, when I was doing the laser leveling with that box blade, I could say, hey, this was level or this is not. But one thing is true, you start putting water in it, then the truth will come out, right? Well, that's what we got here. It looks like on this end here, maybe was a little bit high. In fact, maybe that one of the highest points is right here on the end. I didn't do any work right here on this very end. I usually would turn in right about here and start here going up through here. Now at the very far end, I knew that was low. And after I had made my hump and all for the backside of this swale, sort of as a levee, I didn't really have enough dirt left to fill all that in. So I knew that was low down there. But overall, I would say this is pretty much level. I am really happy with that pull-type box blade and laser system. It worked really well. I mean, you can tell this is pretty accurate. Oh yeah, maybe there's a spot here that's just a little bit high. Part of it is that it was getting ready to rain that day, and I got sort of tired of working with it. Now this is that area where I said I knew it was low. Really right out there is the proper elevation where I didn't touch it at all. But I started digging here, you know, and I dug just a little bit too deep. I knew it was low, and I had started bringing soil this way. I just kept coming the same direction, and I ran out of excess soil right about there. Another thing that I notice is that I'm not really draining perfectly the neighbor's property here. And I think next spring when I clean this up between these two trees, right in here, I'll put a little bit of slope in that so I can drain that. That water's got to come this way. There's no use me leaving a pond on their side of the property line when I need to be accepting that water anyway. So I'll bring that right over here. I might use some of that excess dirt to fill in this low spot here and another low spot that's up here. But the big news is that the pond is not totally full. With over 2 inches of rain, I would have been walking in water right now on it before we did this swale or made any of the other changes that we made, which really haven't been that many. I've taken a long time to try to analyze the problem rather than just start digging randomly, and I really think this swale was the right answer, at least the right first answer. Let me show you something else I've worked on this. Not long ago, Christy was putting up Christmas lights, and I kept talking about having a project that I was working on that I didn't show you on video. Well, this is it. This is on the neighbor's property. It's not on my property. It's owned by that corporation now. I took Johnny 5 and my Rhino blade, and I made a more defined ditch here to keep this water from coming over on our property. Now, if you look at the way the natural land lays, it should stay on this side of the property. This is not taking water in any direction other than it would normally go, but it's just making it a little more defined. And now, even several hours after the rain, you can see that that's still running pretty fast. I also took that blade and dug out this swale just a little bit deeper. This was already predefined. This was the direction that the water is supposed to go off of my property, but I lowered that by about 2 to 3 inches. Was really happy with how that turned out. It's entirely farmable at this point, and yet it's helping to lower the water level here by a couple of inches. So this is a big change, big improvement, well worth it. I'm happy at this point. There's still more to do, but I think this is going to help a lot. My question is, in the biggest rains where we get a couple inches and then like a day or two later we get a couple inches more, which often happens in the winter, will this hold up? Will I see the pond flood at that point? It's entirely possible I will, because I don't think this is the perfect end-all solution, but it's a much better. Now, I know a bunch of you would rather see a turbocharger update on Johnny X than to see a drainage update. Well, I would too. Unfortunately, this isn't like TV where, you know, 1 week passes and you know, 3 months in real world time passes on a lot of those TV dramas. So no, it's taken them more time than we would like, obviously, from a viewer standpoint. But my understanding is they have fired up Johnny X with the turbo. It wasn't totally hooked up, but they just had to do some testing, and based on that testing, they've had to make a few changes. Now, I expect Ariat Diesel Service will provide a video with the details of what they experienced in that initial startup and how they're going to go about fixing it. They've already planned to do that. I just don't have it yet, so I'm still really excited about what's going on there. Yeah, and that's FedEx ringing something to my house, so I better go check out what it is. It's Christmas time. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, "Look, God's dwelling place is now among the people, and he will dwell with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them and will be their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, or mourning, or crying, or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. Another thing I notice here is that I'm not... Oh, my hat's gone. Don't get away, don't get away, don't get away. I did get mud on it, though. Man, it's windy.